Morning Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I found a patch of vaguely green things to walk around today. And you know what? After a day off yesterday and a bit of a nice relaxing sleep, I'm feeling really good about what happened on the weekend, my friends. I'm feeling really good. They said if you play like that against Manchester City, you're going to lose 5 or 6, even 8-0, I heard around the traps. They said Ange Postecoglou will get found out when he plays a better team. They said. Where are they now? What are they saying now? Oh, of course. When I looked on the top Talk Sport channel, is there anything about Spurs' amazing performance against apparently the best team in the world? No, of course not. It's all about that last decision, the referee, the comedy. You know, every match has got to have a funny moment from the ref in it. VAR's taken a lot of that out of it. But we got one back there with the referee blowing up late after Grealish was apparently through and going to definitely score a goal. But, you know, he only had 2 players to deal with in Vicario. That's what the talking point is. Very disappointing actually, because you know, I think a lot of people don't want VAR, and if you don't want VAR, I think you've just got to accept that the referee now and then will make a mistake. Who knows what was in his eye line at that time. My personal theory is he did try blowing his whistle, but the P got stuck, so he had to give it a shake and then blow it again. What did we achieve on the weekend? Well, we broke the champions. That's what I reckon happened. We broke the champions. They cracked. In the first half, when our execution was not so good, Manchester City won that first half 2-1. But what happened in the second half when the players listened to Ange's instructions after he gave them a bit of a pep talk? I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall in that one. We beat Manchester City 2-1, and in fact, you know what? We made them look ordinary, playing our brand of football, playing Ange's football, Tottenham Hotspur's brand of football. It just goes to show you, man, we can beat anyone. If that's the best the world's got to offer, what does that make Tottenham? Actually, that's the greatest team the world has ever seen. That's what it makes us. I'll just bring up the, because we haven't looked at it for a while, the Dreo Meter. The Dreo Meter, not much moving over the last few weeks, because a couple of those games we lost against Wolves and Aston Villa, we lost those fixtures last year anyway, so there was no movement on that. But there is a little movement on the dial, because we lost against Manchester City last year and we drew this year, so it's a gain of 1 point on the points over last year's side. And the pro rata side, if you take the number of points we've got divided by the number of games, multiply by 38, you get that. I forgot what the numbers actually are. Something like 71, 70, 69 and 71. I've only just looked at it. I've got mine like a sieve. So in both accounts of those, we're looking at Champions League football. But you know what? I'm going to go one better. To do what we did against Manchester City and psychologically snap them, because they were all out to the races at the end of the match. Can Spurs win the league this year? Can we win the league? Can we do it? Now look, we're 6 points behind Arsenal. I'm only going to count that as 3 though, because we haven't played them at our place yet. So that's 3 points in the bag. So let's say 3 points between us and Arsenal. Who's more likely to crack, us or Arsenal at the moment? Bearing in mind, I think we've been through the worst that this season can throw us. You know, 10, 11, 12 players unavailable for selection. A cobbled together spack filler bog of a team that we put out there. And when they listened to Ange, man, they did it. Can you believe Erling Haaland could not get the better of Emerson Royale and Ben Davis? There's something in his head, man. There's something in his head. 2 clear-cut chances at least. 1 skied to the stars and beyond, and 1 wide to a harmless ball boy. Yeah, I'm thinking we can win the league, and I'm serious about this. I'm thinking we can win the league. We're at least in a title race, but I think we can win the league, folks. Because if that's as bad as our season's going to get, yes, we've lost 3 games. Last year we lost 14. We lost 14 games last year. This year we've lost 3 under the most horrible of circumstances. That's what it took for us to lose a game. Chelsea, we lost our heads. Wolves, it was kind of a new patched up team put together, including the secret ingredient of Eric Dyer, who didn't even get on the bench in favour of 2 goalkeepers this week, which I think is quite hilarious actually. There's a bit of a message there, Eric. Go in January, go to Lisbon, the club you love. And then Aston Villa, the boys came good in a game we could have, should have won, but we didn't, because that's football. You know, we had our chances, we didn't take them, and Villa rightfully won 2-1. And then Manchester City, they were all over us in the first half, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. The treble champions at home in their own place. And I must say, looking at the state of their crowd, I don't know, I see a lot of blue seats shining through the misty afternoon up there in Manchester. What's going on there? Their ticket prices are cheaper than Tottenham and they can't fill their own stadium even though they win anything. Almost sounds like a club with no spirit, propped up by dirty cash. Nothing more than that. It's a souffle waiting to crack. And you know who's got the spatula? Ange Postecoglou, Son Heung-min, Romero, Udogie, Vicario, Maddison. That's who's going to do it. I'm actually going past the point of just mucking around here, and I'm thinking, you know what? I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Can you imagine the confidence that the boys would have got out of that game, dragging a point out of an impossible foe? They would have heard the buzz around the street. They would have heard the likes of, what's his name, Simon Jordan, Jamie O'Hara, countless pundits saying you can't play football like that. And they played football like that, and we got a result out of it. And now we've got West Ham, we've got Stratford FC, which I'll be watching from New South Wales, Tottenham, New South Wales. Then we've got Newcastle away. And after that, we've got a beautiful string of fixtures. We've got a little bit of, right through till April. I'm not saying they're all easy fixtures, but we've done a lot of the hard ones. Weren't they saying, oh, you haven't played anyone yet? Do I have to correct these people all the time? It's getting a bit boring. We haven't played anyone. We drew with Arsenal away, we drew with Manchester City away, we beat Liverpool at home, we beat Manchester United at home. And there's a tail in the tape for you. Ange Postecoglou with a second string side, a man of character and principle, he knows how to play football. Did he change or adapt this style as many of the people were calling for? To take it, you know, to bottle it basically? No. He could manage the local football team here. I'm in Earlwood at the moment. I'm sure they've got a football team. If he was coaching a side here, he'd be getting them to play that way. Contrast that to fake managers such as Erik ten Hag, who this week said he cannot play the Ajax way because he hasn't got the right players. A man who's compromised on his principles, the way he wants football to be played. He's bottled it. You will never, ever, ever see Ange bottle it. The only reason I'm so confident about this is because I've seen this story many a time before. Many a time that Ange has been told you cannot do it this way, you can't do it that way, by the powers that be, by the media. But the people that believe that Ange can do things are the fans. Every team he's managed, the fans have seen pretty quick what this guy can do. And I've seen a remarkable turnaround from scepticism, and look, you know, healthy scepticism as a fan when a new manager that you haven't heard of coming into the club. I'm not going to point the finger and say, you know, I was right and you were wrong. I think it's fair enough. Fair enough. I'm coming in from the benefit of seeing this over 20 or 30 years. You know, people wouldn't know that. But it's amazing how quickly they've come on board. We've been applauding the team even after losses, even after thrashings. It's not often you see that. And if I was another football team looking at us, I'd be scared right now, because when you've got the fans that are fervent and believe, there's no stopping the football team. Football isn't just about statistics, numbers. It's about guts. It's about glory. And I'll tell you what, folks, in the Premier League, we've played the best, and we made them look a bit bloody ordinary. We're the team that people want to watch now, and dare I say it, a lot of the neutrals want to win. This is what's happening. We're coming marching over the hill. We're going to take your silverware, and I reckon we're going to do it sooner than a lot of people thought. Because you know why? The Spurs go marching on! Peace and love, man. Come on, you Spurs.